We only cook once a week, for real. Welcome back to Fab 50s Florida, everyone, where we talk about everything related to being in your 50s, relocating from New York to Florida, menopause, and how we can all be happy, healthy, and wealthy together. One of the things that I do is that I've recently done since we moved down here is we try to do weekly meal prep. So we shop once a week, and then we actually shop a little bit less than that, maybe once every other week, sometimes even every 3 weeks, but we prep every week. So generally on the weekends, we pick a day and we try to prep as much as we can for meals throughout the week so that we don't have to be cooking. So the top 3 reasons that we do that: number one, it does save money. We do bulk shopping at Costco, and we try to think about what it is that we'll need, and then we don't overbuy the things that we don't need. But we do stock up on the stuff that we know we're going to need for the next few weeks, and that's a big money savings. We try to plan it out in advance. There have been many flukes where we've bought things and we're like, oh, it's been sitting in the cupboard for literally months. So it doesn't always work out, but generally it saves money. It saves time, because then I'm able to do the prep on, let's just say, a Saturday or Sunday, depends on the weekend. But if you do it all, say, on Saturday night, then come Wednesday night when you're working late or you're just tired from the day's work, you can just warm up a meal. You don't have to go there and start thinking and planning and taking things out, defrosting, chopping, all of that. You can just take it, put it on your plate, and heat it up. Or if it's a simple sandwich, you can just arrange it. So saves a lot of money, saves a lot of time, and honestly, it helps with health. Windsor has other ideas, but it helps with planning it out and not eating on the fly. When you are able to plan things out, then you can stay committed, you can stay motivated, you can stay calendared, and it's just much healthier. It's much better for you. So you don't have to sacrifice your health, again, especially if you are over 50, if you're in menopause, if your body is not the way it used to be, and if you're really focusing on weight loss. And that's something that I'm really focusing on, weight loss now. So one of the things that I think is really important is to think about what works for your lifestyle. It might not work for you. And I know that in New York, it might not have worked for me because it was just so quick and there was just so much going on. But right now, it works. And there are times when it doesn't, but we try to make it work as much as possible. A lot of activity going on back there. Some construction on one of the houses. I think they're doing a renovation. It was a little loud, so we just kept walking. So those are mainly the 3 things that I find to be the most useful when it comes to meal prepping. Setting aside a decent amount of time on whatever day it is. This week we did it on Sunday, and you just try to plan out as much as you can what it is that you know you're going to eat, what it is that you know that you're going to enjoy, and what your week looks like. If you know that you have some meetings outside of the house and you know you're going to be going out to dinner, or you know that you're not going to be able to plan something that you're going to heat up, you need something on the go, well, then you kind of plan accordingly. But what we do generally, everything is up for a little bit of wiggle room, but generally what we do is we plan out what we're going to have. I plan out what we're going to have for the upcoming week, and then look at what we have in the house, and then look at Costco. Order everything, and I will say, I order it all to be delivered. I do not go into Costco on a regular basis. I actually haven't been in Costco in probably a year. I generally know what we're going to get, tick it off on the cart, same day delivery, an hour, 2 hours, depending on the time frame, depending on the availability, a few hours sometime that day, or you can even schedule it for the next day. They do the drop, so that I don't even have to take the time to go into Costco, because you can get lost in there. They're huge Costco's, but it saves a lot of money. And this is how it saves money. I'm not going in there, and so I'm not doing the impulse buying. I'm not getting tempted by things that I shouldn't be eating. And they have some really good things. Really good things. If you ever want to go and get some fun snacks, hit up a Costco. Good stuff in there. But I don't need that. I don't want that, and I don't need that. And it costs me a lot more money. I know that there's a delivery charge with Instacart for them to come and drop everything off, and then I tip the person. But honestly, that is money well spent, because I'm not taking the time to do that, so I can be doing other things like working, or just taking time for me, walking with everyone here. And then also, again, I'm not tempted to buy other things in there, things that I literally do not need. Because guess what? I'm surviving in my house fine. I don't need that 3-tier trampoline thing that's on sale for like $60. Obviously, I'm being silly, but there's always that one thing that when you go in there, you're like, oh my goodness, that looks great. What a fantastic bargain. And they usually are, but they're only a bargain if you're going to use them, if you need them. I don't. So I choose not to go into Costco. That saves a lot of money. So saving money is a big deal. And then also when you're buying in bulk, you're saving that money. So you don't have to go to the supermarket and buy those smaller amounts of rice or beans or meat, cheese, crackers, bread, whatever it is that you're buying for your house. We generally do not buy bread, generally do not buy crackers. There are some almond flour crackers that we kind of dig. But anyway, we try to stay away from refined carbs, like simple carbs, because we're just, a little different in your 50s. But anyway, it saves a lot of money. We save money going to Costco, shopping once a week. Shopping every other week to every 3 week, and then doing the prep every week. If we have the food in the fridge and available, if we are tired after work and think, oh, I really don't feel like going and making a big meal, guess what? It's already there. So now we're saving money because we're not running out to the restaurants. We're not running to order some fast food or to just get something quick that can cost a lot of money. So that saves a huge amount of money. If you're able to, I suggest maybe you think about it, plan it, see if it might work for you, because the money that it can save is pretty tremendous, pretty big. Second thing, it saves a lot of time. Just like I was saying before, when you're tired after work, the last thing I want to do at 6 o'clock or 6:30 is head into the kitchen and think about, what should we make? What are we going to be taking out? What are we going to be chopping up, preparing, cooking, getting the stove going, thinking about cleanup, all of that. It's kind of a lot. It's a lot. So even though it does take a chunk of time on the weekend, whatever day you choose to do it, it's hours. It's a long time. By the time we get the Costco delivery, and by the time we unload everything, start to chop, prepare, get the frying pans out, get the chopping boards out, the barbecue going. It does take time. However, the thing about that is it's done after that. You put everything away, you cook everything, clean everything, put everything away, and then you're good. And you're good for the week. And then when you come down after work on that Wednesday at 6:30, what you do is you say, okay, what do we want for dinner? You want to have some chili? Great. Now all you have to do is put it in the bowl and microwave it. And there's not a lot of annoying prep, and there's not a lot of annoying wasted time thinking about what you're going to do. So it's a big time saver. The other way that it saves time is just like I said with the cleanup. If you're doing this every night or even every other night, taking out the pots and the pans and the chopping board and the utensils, it's a lot more cleanup and it's just a lot more time. I don't want to do that after work. I would rather put my head and my focus into doing it that once a week, and then maybe doing it better, spending a little bit more time and being thoughtful and deliberate about it than being rushed and doing it. Because when we're rushed, generally what happens is it takes more time. So it just works out better. It saves a lot of time. And then thirdly, doing the meal prep once a week saves a lot of temptation. When I'm thinking about trying to be healthy, and I hope you're trying to think about being healthy, and that's why you're here, is that you're trying to stay focused on your goals. And by staying focused on your goals in your nutrition, you're going to feel so much better during and after menopause, in your 50s and beyond. One of the ways to do that is doing that meal prep. You're being thoughtful and deliberate about what it is that you're making, and you are not being tempted. You're not running out to a restaurant and saying, I'll just have a salad. And then all of a sudden you smell fresh baked bread or you smell the desserts. Those desserts are meant to pull you in. The smells are just fantastic. But that's going to derail your health goal progress. It's going to completely throw you off track. And I don't know about you, but for me, the minute I have any type of dessert or sugar, it's all downhill from there. I'm not having one. Right? Don't give me one of those little pop-em donuts or something. I'm going to have 12. So doing the meal prep in advance is very deliberate, and it gives us a time to think about what it is that we want to eat, and then it just keeps us healthier so that we can make sure that we're thinking about what we're eating, and then we can stick to it. So those are 3 of the big benefits to doing bulk shopping once every few weeks. If you have a bigger family and a lot more people to feed, maybe once a week, and then to doing the meal prep once a week. Planning it out and getting together as a family, as a couple, or by yourself, or sometimes maybe even just with some friends. You can kind of share in the costs of the big bulk delivery, or you can just use it as an opportunity to kind of get together and, share stories, share time with friends, have like a little community get together. Something to think about. But it saves you a lot of money, it saves you a lot of time, and it keeps you motivated on your health goal. That's what it does for me. Something that I hear a lot of people say is, well, don't you get bored with it? Are you going to eat one meal for the entire week? Well, no, not necessarily. We don't just make one meal. Sometimes we plan it out where we have 2 or 3 different things, so there's a variety. And there are times when we do have the same meal 3, 4 nights in a row. That's okay. I know we're human, so we get bored. We get a little, we want a little bit of a change, and that's okay. And there are times when we do that. There's a frozen pizza, cauliflower pizza that Costco has, really, really good. Sometimes it's, you know what, I don't want to do that chili and roasted Brussels sprouts for the 4th night in a row. I really want to do something different. Okay, fine, then we leave that. And then we have the frozen pizza, and then we do the Brussels sprouts and chili the next day. We're human just like anyone else, and we're not perfect. But I will say we do try to stick to it. I do not like wasting food, don't like wasting money. So this is something to think about if you're trying to be healthy and plan out meals. Think about what it means for the size of your family, for how much money it's going to cost, what everybody likes, how it is that you're going to cook. I cook a lot on the barbecue. I don't really like the smell of food in the house, so especially meats and things like that. A lot of garlic. I love garlic, but I don't necessarily want to smell it in my curtains. You know how it is when you cook certain things in the house, that smell never goes away. So think about what works for your family, what makes sense as far as time commitment, money commitment, who's going to be helping, because I do plan everything out and put everything together and do all of the shopping, but my husband and I do the meal prep together so that we can think about what it is that we want, how it is that we're going to divide it up, what's going to get frozen, what's going to be for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, those types of things. Think about what makes sense for you. So those are the ways that I think meal prep once a week can be really, really helpful. It saves you time, it saves you money, and keeps you focused on your health goals. So I would love to hear from anyone here if you have any tips on helpful ways to do meal prep, what it is that you do, how do you stay healthy, how do you save time, money, and keep sticking to your weight goals when you're trying to prepare meals for yourself, you as a couple, you as an entire family. Drop a comment and let us know some of your tips, some of your inside hints that will maybe help others. And I would love to hear from everyone. Thanks so much for joining us again today on Fab 50s Florida for our walk for weight loss, and we will see you tomorrow.